on me.
All
Because
right.
first it gave me a connection error, like, oh, we can't connect. And I'm like, Chato, I didn't work on this week. It doesn't work. You worked, damn you.
All right. So, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. This is way impromptu, but that doesn't mean we're not ready. Today, we're going to be discussing Boba Fett, aka The Mandalorian, episode 0. We're going to be talking about the newest Attack on Titan episode. Again, we're almost a week out from it. When we start talking about it, and when we start touching on spoilers, we're going to give you a big old spoiler alert. However, before we get to those episodes, before we start doing our little recap and review of those, I want to run you through, and Bale, some of the more interesting finds, some of the more interesting stuff that we found on the internet regarding nerd-related news, because that is what we do here. Think of us as like, listen, you've been busy all week, you've been banging your people, whomever you are. You've been, and in lieu of that, you've been a little too handsy with yourself, if we may be frank. But you've missed the news, and this is where we come in.
You've been walking the dog, touching grass,
That's right.
and you haven't been up to date with shit that's going down in internet.com.
Yeah, maybe you
Here
actually.
to bring you up to speed, baby.
Yeah, maybe you took that advice of touching grass, and you went and you touched the grass, but in doing so, sure, you got your vitamin D supplements, but you also you missed some news this week. So let's start off strong, and let me show you who got cast. Masters of the Universe movie picked up by Netflix. Kyle Allen cast as He-Man. Now you might be saying, who's this guy? He must be built like a real hunk. He must be built like John Cena. Oh my God, Peacemaker. I'm watching. This is a complete tangent, Bale. Unprepared. Bale, I'm going to make you watch Peacemaker, dude. Dude, you trust me on this. The same way you trust me when I say skip all the other episodes of Boba Fett and just watch episode 5. Trust me when I say sit down and watch Peacemaker. Hello, Beach Armor. Okay. Welcome back, Beach Armor. I come in here, you just get better looking. Oh, Beach Armor. Very, very, very sweet. Very kind, very sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to show you this gentleman's body. Bale, are you ready?
Should I have my pants up or down?
You should have a jockey strap on. All right, here we go. Ooh, oh, God, look at this twink. Look at this. Look at this sweet, soft, supple femboy. Ooh, she fine.
You throw a pink wig on him, call him a Astolfo, and he's gonna have a lot of contenders for his bussy.
Yeah, look at that. Ooh, man, love to see that He-Man bussy work. That he-mussy. Bale, how do you feel about this choice? I'm gonna say, for myself, I don't like it. I like my He-Man to look like He-Man. I don't want to see He-Man the twink ears. Like I don't.
Yeah, you like He-Man, not He-twink.
He-twink, He-femboy. Don't get me wrong, dude.
Here's the thing.
That Chalamet body is fine. Yeah, go on, Bale.
If you cast this boy as Prince Adam, I can get it.
Maybe. All right. So
but
my best guess is they take this soft, supple boy, this sweet, soft, supple boy, femboy, and they turn him into Prince Adam, and then they're like, all right, now it's time for your transfiguration, and then they have like some Jason Momoa type, like some giant dude show up, or maybe even bigger, maybe the mountain from Game of Thrones, the guy that's like 7 foot tall, he weighs like 400 pounds. He could deadlift like 1,000 pounds. Oh yeah, he got shredded.
He's been leaning out.
We'll find somebody. We'll find somebody that size. Man, I wish we should have picked up. We need a Jamie like Joe Rogan has to look this up. So wait. So Bale.
Jamie, pull up pictures of Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
All right, Beach Armor. How do you feel about this? Because the ladies love that Chalamet body. I don't know why, but they love it. They also love Levi from Attack on Titan, but that's something else entirely.
Yeah, modern women seem to be into manlets for some fucking reason.
C'est la vie. All right. You know what? I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna wait before I start getting too riled up.
I'm not.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna hear him out. But I'll tell you one thing, Bill. I'm not going to be the first guy to sample the goods. I'm not.
No.
I'm waiting. I'm gonna let
People been burned by the Kevin Smith show because here's the big hill, and I also called this with the animated show.
yes.
It says Masters of the Universe movie, not a He-Man movie.
Oh, it doesn't
This
say
is a
He-Man.
Masters of the Universe.
So maybe he was cast as Tila, because he's got the jawline for Tila. You just listen. He's got
I see that.
he's got the haircut. You give him a little pink weave on the side, and then boom, you've got Tila, right there. All right,
Yeah.
moving on.
He has the same cup size as Tila from the show as well.
Do you want to talk about Tom Taylor? Do you want to talk about Peter Dinklage, or do you want to talk about this sexy MILF here?
Let's talk about sexy MILF first.
Okay.
Let's
So-
go ups and downs, maybe, like
Okay.
like life.
She can still get it, dude. I had the biggest crush on her when she was Lost. This is Evangeline Lilly, most recently, known for being one of the stars in the TV show Lost from a million years ago, if you're old enough to remember that show. Most recently, she's been the co-star in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She plays the Wasp. Now, she's come under some fire because she's, how do I say this? She's pro-vaccine. We're getting dicey territory, baby. She's pro-vaccine,
Yeah.
which I'm vaccinated and boosted as well. So I'm no, but she's anti-mandate. I think specifically government mandates. She's pro-choice in the way that people should have autonomy over their bodies and choices and shouldn't be forced to take vaccines that they may not want. Now, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that stance. Personally, if that's how you feel, if you feel that strongly about it, by all means, skip it. That's your ass, not mine. I'm vaxxed. My loved ones are all vaxxed. It's your choice to make.
Yeah, same,
But
it's funny how in today's day and age, being anti-government,
right.
anti-the-government forcing things on you is a controversial statement.
Right. Yeah, but she was fucking dragged. Because you might be like, why is this news? Well, first off, read the BuzzFeed headline. Also, it's BuzzFeed, which is going out of business. But every
I thought it was
Evangeline,
already out of business.
every Evangeline Lilly article that I found, they're all calling her anti-vax, which implies that she doesn't want any kind of vaccine whatsoever. But that's not true. You see it right here, Vax Democrat for medical freedom. So she's a Democrat.
As BuzzFeed does.
She's left-leaning. She has been fully vaccinated. Again, she's been working on Hollywood sets. Of course she's vaxxed. She just doesn't think that you should be forced to get it. And I think that's reasonable. I feel like that's completely reasonable to say, like, I don't want the government telling me what I should and shouldn't put in my body.
Yeah, it's like, hey, if you feel afraid or we want to feel more secure, get it. If you don't, fucking don't. But
Yeah. Like, and let's be honest, if you are at an at-risk group,
like, hey,
if you're immunocompromised, I know somebody who's dealing with chemotherapy right now, so they got the vax and the booster. If you're elderly, if you're heavily overweight, if you've got diabetes, asthma, if you're in this group, to skip this would be crazy. Because again, there are some drawbacks, and about 1 in every 7,000 cases there are some issues, sometimes severe issues. They're few and far between, but they're there. I mean, they don't never talk about them, but they're there. But again, the choice is yours. Do whatever you want. In my book, however, not in Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man, David Miscavige. Not David Miscavige. That's a dude from fucking Scientology. David Daskmalchian, who I first saw in The Dark Knight Returns as one of the Joker's henchmen. He was excellent.
You remember that?
Yeah, no.
Because when you said, "Oh, he's a Joker henchman," I was like, but
You're like Jared Leto Joker?
But yeah,
You're like,
blank stare.
Right? Yeah, no, he's 3 Jokers back. He was the Joker's henchman. But he was also in The Flash. He played like the weather wizard in The Flash. I don't know. He played CW shows are garbage.
Right.
He was somebody on The Flash. I think he was from the future.
I think he was a weather wizard.
I don't fucking know or care. But he's also, by the way, also in Ant-Man. also he plays like the Russian sidekick to Ant-Man. You know, Ant-Man's got like his prison crew. He's got like, I forget, like Tyrese. He's got like, is it T.I.? I think he's got T.I. This dude. He's got the Mexican guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And like Ant-Man's got his posse. Ant-Man's got like his posse that like they help him from like the sidelines. He's one of them. He's the Russian guy that talks about like a gypsy like cursed him or something like that. He talks about like the Baba Yaga.
Of course he does.
Yeah, but like he's this guy.
That's
Like
the most Russian
yeah.
thing to say. Like, hey, fucking a gypsy cursed me and the fucking Baba Yaga is after me like every third Sunday of the month.
Right. So like again, we've seen him in Ant-Man. We've seen he was thank you, Corey. Thank you, Corey. Corey, premium nerd in the chat. Corey, he was Abracadabra in the Flash. Thank you. I thought that was a Pokemon, but okay.
It also is. It's two actually.
This is his coworker. This is his co-star. I watch the CW shows. I mean, listen, clearly so do I. I definitely watched that episode when he came in from the future and he was trying to save his loved one or so. I don't. Those shows are awful. I stopped watching them. Corey's still in the train. He shit on Evangeline Lilly. Here's what he wrote. Here's what he tweeted. He tweeted, "It's also he was Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad, the good Suicide Squad featuring Starro the Destroyer.
Destroyer. Yeah, the Destroyer.
It's so unfortunate when people with large platforms use that platform to share irresponsible things." I mean, he's definitely talking about it, Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah,
but I don't think Evangeline Lilly was,
yes.
from what I saw that she wrote, she wasn't like, this is, you're going to become radioactive if you take this shot. You're going to...
She wasn't even...
You're going to don't get the microchip.
Yeah, don't get the 5G upgrade.
Right.
She wasn't even... What's the word I'm looking for?
Anti?
Evangelizing. She wasn't even evangelizing people to go on a strike or something. She just, hey, this is what I think. She wasn't gathering people. She wasn't rallying people, to
Right.
do anything. It was like, hey, I think government mandates are fucking stupid and
Right.
anti-freedom, which they fucking are.
Yeah, no, dude, again.
And people are like, oh, she's sharing irresponsible things. Dude, she can fucking share a picture of her butthole if she wants to.
This dude, this dude, who's also, in my opinion, a bit of a fucking jackass, dude. Simu Liu has fucking put his foot in his mouth multiple times at this point.
Oh, is that the Shang-Chi guy?
Shang-Chi guy has said multiple like outrageous, crazy, off the wall shit. He said, which again, I mean,
it ain't Hollywood if it ain't stupid.
Dude, in my opinion, just shut up, man. Just like the way I shut up and just sketch. And you'll never look at my Twitter feed. You're never going to see me waxing poetic about telling people what to do, getting on any kind of soapbox, telling people how to live their lives. None of this shit, dude. I shut the fuck up and I draw.
You're barely on Twitter.
I'm not even on Twitter, dude. Once a week I fire up Twitter to see if anybody's messaged me. And then I usually look at the funny memes that are posted, and the second I see like people yelling at each other, I dip out. So like I usually make it about 30 seconds on Twitter. Here's what Simu Liu wrote. I lost my grandparents to COVID last year. They were still waiting for their vaccines. I'm fortunate to have been double vaccinated and boosted when I got COVID 2 weeks ago. Felt like a cold. The media needs to stop spotlighting opinions that are not rooted in facts or science. Now, again,
as SJWs would say.
Again, dude, like, what do you like? What has she said that's anti-facts, anti-science? She's basically saying that I don't think that the government should have the ability to tell you what you have to put in your body. What the fuck, man? What's wrong with that? Now you might disagree with that sentiment. You might say, I disagree. I think, for the greater good of the people, you should be forced to do this. Again, I don't agree with that point of view. However, it is yours to have. This like hyperbolic, holier than thou soapbox grandstanding. Especially coming out of Hollywood types, I fucking can't stand it, man.
Yeah, I could dissect this in like since I've been dealing with this, not directly dealing with that shit, but dissecting their content for like the past year. He starts off with the emotional manipulation.
Yeah. Yeah. My grandparents are dead. Which, by the way,
they-
rest in peace to his grandparents. That's horrible. That sucks. Many people lost people from COVID. But again, that
it does
yeah,
suck,
it does.
but don't use them.
Dude, that's so fucking manipulative, dude. That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah. And then he goes
By the
off
way,
and, "Oh,
she
I
says
got-"
she's vaccinated, man. Dude, this is why I hate. This is why I can't stand Twitter. This is why I can't stand these Hollywood types, because they take something that is a nuanced, complicated discussion. They turn it into an argument. They whittle it down to the most hyperbolic talking points. Then
And also how
yeah,
it's how Twitter just works. It doesn't promote a deep conversation. Like
no,
if you want to get in a deep conversation, you just gotta get on Discord. You gotta get on a podcast, on a stream or something.
Yeah.
Or just call someone.
fucking
or
call somebody on
DM
the
them,
goddamn telephone, man.
But
All right,
yeah, just pick up your rotary phone, just spin the numbers, and just talk to a motherfucker for like 30 minutes and work it out. But yeah, he goes into the emotional manipulation with his grandparents. Then he goes into, I got COVID and it was like a cold, and I'm like, yeah, by now,
yeah,
you've probably gotten the Omicron Transformer variant and not the OG one,
right.
and that one by default is like a cold.
Yeah, no, it's so
And-
crazy, man.
And then he ends up with the trust in the science bit, which fucking gets on my nerves. And the science has been changing like every fucking
Right.
week so
Yeah, no. Well, listen, man. But like, they have told us so many different things from the beginning, which is, by the way, to be expected, man. This came out of nowhere. They're trying to get a handle on it, and the fact of the matter is that things change week to week, right? New variants come out, new symptoms arrive, old symptoms pass. People, I get it, man. People are just trying to stay ahead of this and figure it all out, but that, again, that is subtle and nuanced and complicated, and it's not a headline that's easily clickable and an argument that's easily yelled at people. So I don't know,
It's not
man.
something that can
Fuck them.
shoot your point across with like such a broad brush.
Fuck them. All right, let's move on. Now,
And-
this is a
and her,
complicated
she
one.
can get it.
She can still get it. Evangeline Lilly's full MILF, full blown MILF. She could definitely get it. I bet Corey would hit it. Disney have addressed Peter Dinklage's concerns regarding the live-action Snow White remake. Now this is an interesting one to talk about. Peter Dinklage was on the Mark Maron What the Fuck or WTF podcast, and he talked about how, and I'm paraphrasing here, how is Disney in one sentence going to be, look at us, we're so progressive, we have hired a Latinx woman to portray Snow White, which, you know, is, her skin is as white as,
Which is Snow
which is, you know, like clearly, like I said, it's like having the Black Panther be played by Brad Pitt. You know, it's a weird choice. It's a weird choice to make. So whatever, Snow White is being played by a Hispanic woman. Fine. Who gives a shit? I don't give a fuck about these Disney's live action movies anyway. They're all balls. I also could give a rat's ass about Snow White, but c'est la vie. Peter Dinklage's point is this. How can you in one breath say that you are going to be this progressive bastion of, you know, inclusivity, and then say, oh, but also there are still midgets in this thing. But also she commands these midgets that live in a cave. So he was like, yo, I've got dwarfism. Don't put my midget friends in a cave and make them see that they're going to wait on this this formerly white bitch hand and foot.
Yeah, it's midget gay day all over again.
Right. So he's like, hey. He's like, what about midget representation? Which I think if I understand his logic, right, if we're dealing with like devout progressivism and inclusivity, then, and Disney's playing that game, right? Disney is the one who this is Disney's idea. We're super progressive, much like the Mars M&M company wanting to desexualize the green M&M for reasons, meanwhile they're still apparently sending the kids into the mines to work for them. The Mars chocolate company.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Disney is filming Mulan within spitting range of the death camps of the Uyghurs.
The Uyghur camps.
Yeah.
The Uyghur camps.
But anyway, in a similar tokenization and completely ridiculous and two-dimensional move by Disney, they said, oh yeah, that's right, the dwarves, oh, you know what, they're not dwarves anymore. Disney response to Peter Dinklage's Snow White criticism. They're going to be, so they're not going to be dwarves anymore because of what Peter Dinklage said. Instead, they're going to be magical creatures.
But they're still going to look like a midget.
Do you think they're going to still get midgets to play them? They're just going to be like, oh no, they're not dwarves though. These midgets they're fairies. They're fairies.
And what are they gonna do? Like hire actors? They're like the same stature, like the guy who played Ghibli, and just shrink them all down.
Well, that's the thing I was trying to see, and I still don't know if Peter Dinklage was picking fun at them or if he's actually legitimately upset for his people that suffer with dwarfism. Like, I honestly don't know. And I think, dude, I do think that there is something to be said, right? But like, hey, listen, I'm a small guy. Why the fuck is it every time we appear on screen, we have to be a little elf or a little fucking Oompa Loompa or a dwarf? Like, yo, like, fuck, I'm sick of being typecast. Listen, that's reasonable, right? Imagine
that's reasonable, because you see actors whose careers get ruined because they have like one or two good roles as like a specific type of character,
right.
And like you said, they just get typecast as like or the villain, or the female man hater, or the womanizer, or the bad guy, or the weak sidekick to the protagonist, and that shit. Which I get his point on that.
And to be fair, I get it, because you know what, dude, Peter Dinklage is a superb actor. I mean, again, the ending to Game of Thrones was terrible, but he was one of the highlights of the series when it was good. Like his portrayal of Tyrion Lannister was fucking one of the best I've ever seen in my entire life. Absolutely excellent. And imagine a world where he was typecast and pigeonholed and meant to play just dwarves and elves and Oompa Loompas and that kind of shit. And meanwhile, we as an audience would be actively depraved of his capabilities as an actor.
As an actor, yeah.
So I think there is something to be said about him being like, hey,
you know what I want now?
Careful.
Cast him as like the next Marvel hero and upscale him to like 6'5".
Yeah, you know what? You're right. He should be the next He-Man. Forget about that Twinkie guy that we were just showing. CGI his head onto He-Man's body. We'll do a Conan the Barbarian thing. Yes. So listen. I get what he's saying, and I think in many ways he's correct. Like, let's take it easy on making small people little assholes. But there has to be a way to get that, like, because dwarves do exist in fantasy. Like, look no further than. Hey, Byzantius, thank you for the 50-month Thank you for the 50-month resub. Thank you, Byzantius. Maybe my oldest subscriber, or at least one of. Dwarves exist in fantasy, right? Now, Gimli, the man who played Gimli, whose name escapes me, he didn't suffer from dwarfism. He wasn't a little person. He just played one. Yeah. So I would say, we call my mom Short Hagrid. It's hilarious. Yeah, so like, listen, clearly dwarves exist in fantasy, but that's a weird thing. It's weird that it would be like if elves exist in fantasy, but also calling someone elven was also like a form of like a physical disability too, like in real life, because that's the thing with dwarvism, right? Dwarvism is a physical ailment. It
depends on what he's cast for.
It's a fantasy character. It's a fantasy race. So maybe they should have came up with a different. Maybe we should call it something else. Because like you get yeah,
midget is fine. Live with it.
How dare you, John Rhys Davies.
Thing, though.
By the way, as far as like slurs go, I think midget is like one of the softest ones. Like if you're thinking like if you start with the N word with the hard R, and then you climb up, and then you're like gay people, the F word, and then you just keep at like the very like at the softer part, way soft is midget. Like midget is like so chill of a slur. It's like so chill. It's like it's barely. It's like it's not even. It's nothing. It's like hitting somebody with the N word with the hard R is like getting hit in the face with a sledgehammer. Getting hit with a
Yeah.
midget is like a little patty cake tap. It's so soft. It's got no teeth.
Did you did you intentionally make that into midget joke?
Yeah.
Because being hit with a midget, like being hit with like a patty cake.
It's
because
just
this
soft,
midget is
man.
small.
Dude, I would say calling a woman a cunt is worse than calling a little person a midget. In my opinion, that's the way
Yeah.
it comes off to me. Like that's hardcore. You know, like that's the way.
I can agree because here's the thing: someone being a midget, they can't change that. But you know, a woman being a cunt, that's behavior.
How dare you? Oh, I thought you were saying that's inescapable. Anyway, so John Rhys Davies played a dwarf. So I think maybe I don't know the best way to like sort this out, but like maybe just be like they're magical fantasy dwarves and they're played by regular people. But the other thing that sucks is you legit like what if they had an idea for the dwarves, right? The 7 dwarves. But they weren't going to make fun of them. They weren't going to turn them into Oompa Loompas. They weren't going to do that whole spiel, right? They weren't going to dehumanize them. But what if they were going to treat those dwarves like these dwarves, right? Like when we look at Gimli,
Yeah.
you know, Gimli is a bad motherfucker, man. Gimli,
He's bad. Like,
yeah, dude. Like if you were to be like Gimli, he's a midget, you'd be an asshole because Gimli's a bad motherfucker, man. Gimli will fuck you up. You know, like,
the only time there's something negative said about Gimli as his race is when he has that, you know, banter, if you want to call it, with Legolas. And it's because, you know, it's elves and dwarves and yada yada, and they hate
Right.
each other for like
yeah.
millennia. But after that, there's nothing.
Yeah, no, it's
This depends on the quality of the work he's been cast on. Because
exactly.
if they're like, oh, we're gonna you know what? We're gonna reboot Rush Hour. We're gonna have a midget. He's going to always be the butt of the joke. And I'm like,
Lego
fuck off.
Legolas is a supple femboy, as are most elves. But yeah, no.
Yes.
What if Disney, you know, like again, not to give Disney the benefit of the doubt, but what if they were like, hey, listen, they're the 7 dwarves, but they're not going to be like Dopey and Gropey and whatever the hell else. Gropey. We're gonna give them way more gravitas. They're going to be way more pivotal. They're going to be very humanized. They're going to be touching, and it's not going to be a dig. It's not going to be a dig at the little people. It's actually, we're going to try to do, you know, like, because now they're just going to turn them into magical characters, and maybe they're going to be CGI or something, right? But like, meanwhile, like, for all we know,
have fairy dust around.
right? For all we know, the next Peter Dinklage could have been in that cast and crew of 7 that like might like steal your heart, man, or like that super. Remember, they might even had a hot dwarf. Like, do you remember they had that hot? Remember they had that hot dwarf in The Hobbit that the ladies were like, oh my god, I'd sit on his little face. Do you remember that, dude? I think he was the one that was hooking up. I think he was the one that was hooking up with Evangeline Lilly. I think he, right?
Yeah,
You guys remember the sexy dwarf?
He's the one who fell in love with the redheaded elf.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he?
That was Evangeline Lilly, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no. So like, yeah, maybe they had, yeah, like, so maybe they got like a hunky elf. Maybe they got like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude.
It all depends on the quality of what's written for him. Because if it's garbage, you can be the best actor, but when they've decided they're going to typecast your whole character group,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to write it off as like dog shit, EXD dialogue, there's not much you can do.
All right, now this next
Except,
one,
you know, what he said.
this next one I want to chat about. I don't know much about. Bale sent me this the other day. Apparently, this guy wrote. Oh, for those of you who don't know, who haven't read a comic book in a while, which is most of the American population, Superman's son is gay, bi, pansexual. I don't know. He's one of those. He likes making out with. He makes out with hot purple-haired twinks, which is fine. But people said the critics of this book were saying. From my takeaway, the critics of the book were saying that, oh, this is just a gimmick. You're turning Superman's son gay just for the BuzzFeed headlines and just for the grab, and then as the series progresses, nobody's going to give a shit about this, because the thing about it all is American comic books, their numbers have been overshadowed greatly by manga. Manga and books coming out of Japan have way outsold their American counterparts by just, I mean, I don't even know how many fold. A lot.
You don't want to know the exact number, and I think I don't want either because it's depressing as all hell.
Right.
But here's the thing: it starts off with like that tweet that someone tweets at him, which is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Somebody wrote this. Somebody wrote this. Your super queer garbage is bombing, just like everyone knew it would. Everything you've done, currently do, and ever will do is nothing but a waste of paper. The woke mob you thought it would be a good idea to pander to isn't even buying your pathetic slop. So this is obviously a fucking lunatic, dude. This is obviously some fucking crazy person who, again, one of the many reasons why I fucking stay far, far away from Twitter. So yeah, so he probably picked out the fucking craziest comment he could find in the lot, and is like, I'm gonna show you, because the thing that people were saying is, your sales are dropping for the book. So then a bunch of YouTubers made these videos talking about how the book is flopping. But I'm gonna scroll through all this garbage. However, people are saying that the gay book came out in November and it topped the charts at like number 6 out of 10, something like that. And then in December, the December annual issue I don't think broke the top 30, broke the top 50. I don't know the exact numbers. I should have looked this up. But from episode 5, which I think is where the gay episode, or the gay issue episode, issue number 5, hit the top of the chart. Then the annual came out in December. Nobody bought it, or I mean, some people bought it, but not in the same amount. And then the next one came out this month, and the numbers aren't out yet for the end of the month because the month isn't over. So this dude was saying, why are you assholes shitting on my book? The following issue isn't even out until January. We don't have the numbers yet, right? That's the gist of it, right?
Yeah,
there.
and he also went to we went into second printings, and whenever the Gay Kiss came out, people bought it, and people went back and bought it. And I'm like, yeah, there's a character redefining moment in the comic,
right?
And people, especially people who collect or try to flip it later, went out and bought it. And you can watch the sales drop for the next couple of issues. It's gonna go back down to negligence in like 2 issues.
So here's the deal. When I think he's got a point, right? His point being that, hey, people were shitting on him about his books failing. A bunch of YouTubers made videos saying that, oh, hey, your book's failing. Now, really, it was the annual issue that tanked, and the annual issue did tank. But technically, the annual issue isn't part of the main series. I think you really can't shit on the dude until issue 6 is out, which it is, until you get the numbers back. And once they are, then you could make the videos. But I do think
we have the numbers for issue 5, though. I mean, the numbers. Like, I sent you the comic sales for December.
Let's go.
Which is where his issue is, and Superman is on top of the charts.
I thought, what is issue 5 the one with the gay kiss?
I think so. I will do a quick check.
And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. These numbers, I don't ever look at these numbers because I haven't read an American comic book in so long. I don't give a shit about them. I mean, which is intense, but I don't fucking care, man.
Yes, issue 5.
Issue 5? What episode is it? What issue number is it? I mean, what issue? It's issue 5, but like, I'm sorry, what's the ranking? Did it make the top 50? I guess it didn't, right? But wait, I thought it was November was the month it came out.
It started out in November. Let me see. Here's the thing, though. There are a lot of shit going on with this. It came out in November.
Do you have the November chart?
Yes. It's 6. Yeah, number 5 is 6.
Okay.
Now let's check. October.
So in November, the gay issue hit number 6 on the ICV2 chart. So it did top. But
You know where it's at in October?
where?
Number 44.
Jesus. All right, let me see.
You wanna know where it's going to be in February and March? I don't know about this month, but February and March is gonna go back down. 44.
Well, Superman Son of Kal-El. Okay, Superman Son of Kal-El, the annual. So this is what I was talking about. So here, November, the gay book comes out. It makes all kinds of waves. People write all kinds of articles about it. YouTubers shit on it, and so on and so forth. It's number 6 in the charts. The annual comes out in December and is dropped down to number 45, which, by the way, the previous issue, to Bale's point, again, you can't, annuals are kind of their own thing. They're kind of standalone issues. They're tied to the book, but they're not part of the run, for those who don't know comic book shit. For those of you who don't know comic book shit, annual, you get a kind of like this extra story that isn't part of the main run, that like ties to the character, but it's, for all you know, it's the character getting groceries. Anyway, that one's down to
basically.
that one's down to 45. Now you said so October, rank 44. Gay tokenization happens, rank 6. Another month goes by. By the way, those are mostly fucking collectors that are probably buying that book for posterity.
Yes.
Then the next month after that, you're back down to 45. Now, the only true way to like gauge is like what happens when issue number, not an annual, but the issue number 6 happens and comes out, which it did on the 4th of this month, which is rapidly ending. So hopefully in a few weeks, we'll have this next chart. We'll have the chart for January, and we'll be able to truly say if Tom Taylor is in fact being a cunt or not.
Which he's always up to no fuck.
But I will say,
Hey,
I will say,
about the book.
YouTubers should
Gay
fucking
thing happens.
YouTubers should do their fucking research, man. This goes for yours truly as well. But yeah, if you're gonna shit on a book, you should and tell tell the world up and down.
I think YouTubers have a point, but they need to message their shit. They need to massage their messages more. It's like, hey, the guy was like 40 in the 40s in the rankings. Gay Kiss comes out, he's on 6. The annual is out, he's back in the 40s.
Right.
We gotta wait like an extra couple of weeks till the numbers come out and see where that goes.
Exactly.
And I'm pretty sure he's gonna go back down because nobody gave a shit about this book when it came out.
Guys, anybody in the chat, anybody want to guess where issue number 6 is going to come out in a few weeks? Anybody?
It's going to be in the mid-30s. You can quote me on this.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 15.
Okay.
All right, here. I'm gonna message Bale. So that I'm writing gay soups. Gay soups equal Jan rank number 15. So there it is. So now we have written posterity. All right, let's keep on trucking. Oh, meanwhile, if you actually want to know what the book scan was, the ICV numbers for the top 20 adult novels. Hey, chat. Anybody want to guess if there are any American graphic novels in this list before I scroll up? Anybody want to guess?
I'm guessing there's gonna be at least one. Batman's gotta be on there. Come on.
I'm gonna say there's gonna be one too. I haven't looked at the numbers, but like they're probably not gonna be good. Again, so here we go. Rank 1, Chainsaw Man. Rank 2, Jujutsu Kaisen. Rank 3, Demon Slayer. Rank 4, Chainsaw Man Volume 1.
It's back in
Rank
print.
5, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. And then next, Lore Olympus, more Jujutsu Kaisen, more Chainsaw Man, Attack on Titan rounds out the top 10. And then let's look through the top 20. I'm looking. There isn't a single goddamn American book in the list. Not even Batman.
Look at all the number ones on this list. People are still hungry to get in on this.
John, I'll message you too after the podcast. This is wild, man. This is upsetting, is what this is. Also,
It's embarrassing as well, because how the fuck do you not get at least Batman, who's currently among the most popular superheroes? Why isn't there a fucking Spider-Man book in here? When Spider-Man literally made $1 billion fucking
Spider-Man is
in the
making $1
box
billion
office.
in the movie theater right now, worldwide.
Spider-Man is
not.
back.
By the way, not in China. This is a non-Chinese $1 billion
Yes.
movie.
Wait, it hasn't aired in China.
No, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's why this movie's a triumph.
That's even
Right.
huge.
Dude.
It's like $1 billion without China.
I know,
Imagine
man.
if it did air in China.
And then, yeah, but
would-
again, guys, think about that. Think about what that means. The MCU and Sony release Spider-Man, a Spider-Man movie, the end the Tom Holland trilogy. They do so spectacularly. The movie makes over $1 billion during a pandy. Thank you, John Amore. During a pandy and without China makes $1 billion. Imagine if these were MCU numbers in its heyday. Dude, we're talking like maybe both cleared $2 billion rather.
Maybe
Maybe.
two. Yeah.
Yeah,
At least
absolutely,
1.5, because
absolutely insane. But like not to derail too much, but like that movie, excellent accomplishment. But my point being, its original medium, right? Where like Spider-Man is a comic book character first and foremost. Amazing Fantasy number 15. The little webhead shows up on the splash page. $1 billion movie can't sell enough books to break in the top 20. It's fucking sad, man.
And this isn't even on a worldwide scale. These numbers, these are just America.
This is American numbers, dude. Shit, man.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Spider-Man is back on being on top, being like the most famous comic book character. It's like
Oh,
in the
yeah.
good old 80s. And Marvel couldn't set up any like trade, just sell McFarlane trades. You know what those
Something,
should always
dude.
sell?
Yeah, no, man.
It's fucking something.
It's a bummer. All right. Well, fuck American comic books.
bummer.
American comics
But I'm
can
happy for
fucking
my
burn
boy
in hell.
Chainsaw Man.
Listen, we only read manga here now. Fuck you, American comic book industry.
Friendship ended with American comics. Manga is my best friend.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. So here, this is a little bit more lighthearted, less depressing. No, I'm kidding. It's just as depressing. UK University puts content warning on a Harry Potter book. Again, keep in mind, this isn't for children. This book is not for children. These books, rather. I mean, specifically, they are for children. But in this context, they are not giving unless your child is rolling into a university, which congratulations on your Doogie Howitzer level genius child. However, for the rest of the fucking idiots, these are like 18 to 20 something year olds who are reading these books and attending university. And this university has decided that, you know what this book needs? It needs a content warning. You know what that warning is going to say? It's going to say this. Harry Potter book and other adult young novels saying the text can lead to difficult conversations about gender, race, sexuality, class, and identity. Say fucking
This is
what,
so
dude?
Stupid.
Say what? Say what?
A book about a guy with no nose who is supposedly uber powerful, who can't even take over one fucking high school. Is it gonna bring up difficult conversations? Like, who fucking who? This is the uber code of the West type of shit.
Dude,
This would not fly in Eastern Europe. I
this is
fucking
so
hell.
crazy, man. Dude, you're
It's
an
so stupid.
adult.
Those are yeah. Here's the thing. Those books are probably written for like teenagers.
That's the other thing too.
if you-
They're written for
And
children.
if you're a young adult, you should be up to the task of having a difficult conversation about difficult and complex subjects, so you can figure shit out in life and figure yourself out. Clean your own goddamn.
Imagine
But
being
no,
imagine
we're gonna
being
have
in
trigger
imagine
warnings.
being in England and then your class assigns you Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, a children's book, and in it you have to be you have to sign off on the the violation of your safe space that is difficult conversations about gender, race, sexuality, identity, and class. Nonsense. All right, I don't want to spend much time on this. I figure I just let you guys in on what's going on, what's going on in other parts of the world. Oh, this is a nice
Jolly
quick.
old England.
This is a nice quick one. Pivoting from the manga talk and the anime talk, a YouTuber, a pretty well-known YouTuber, totally not Mark, is a giant fucking weeb. This guy is a premier weeb, but apparently he makes great like wrap up and breakdown content of manga and anime. To my knowledge, he was hit the way we hit Hiroshima. Those Japanese folks over at Toei Animation, I'm sure I butchered that, hit his channel.
Oh wait, yeah.
They went full fucking Nagasaki on him, dude. They hit him with I think 100. Oh yeah, issued more than 150 copyright claims against Fitzpatrick's lengthy anime and manga reviews. 150 copyright claims. They nuked his channel.
It's pretty much someone's channel and livelihood being gone. So.
Yeah, no. When you get hit with that many claims, not only does your channel pretty much stop making money altogether for you, which can be really detrimental to anybody's livelihood who works full-time off YouTube, but also it also puts your channel in its entirety at jeopardy, because YouTube, if you violate, you've got 3 strikes for YouTube violations, not necessarily copyright violations, but if you 3 strikes and you're out, baby. 3 strikes and YouTube tosses you, kicks you to the curb, because they can't have you breaking rules like that. So yeah, no, this Japanese company, like, they hit him with everything, and he won.
They literally threw everything in the kitchen again, and he fucking, which is the most important bit.
Yeah, he won.
He made it.
Matter of fact, he won so hard that YouTube made a new rule. So for any of you YouTube nerds out there, the new YouTube rule allows for flexibility among international copyright laws, where a video may be taken down in one country but left up in another, freeing creators from worrying about outright bans or takedowns of videos. In practice, this means more videos are likely to remain up in countries like the US with stronger fair use allowances, right? Because the rules in Japan do not apply to the rules in America.
They don't have fair use there, as
right.
far as I know.
Right. But here, our fair use in regards to copyright means that essentially, I'm not a copyright lawyer, so take this, obviously, don't listen to a fucking YouTuber about this shit. But speaking in generalities, what it means is if you take content and you make it transformative enough, you should be fine. Like, again, unless you're fucking
commentary.
Right. Unless you're fucking Pokemon and you're being a fucking retard and watching full episodes of Avatar: The Last Airbender uncut while you eat sushi and make the money off your simps, your tier 3 simps, which, by the way, unless you're doing that, you should be fine. But if you're being a normal human being with even a loose definition of copyright law and you know that's wrong, then
here's the easy bit. You doing a review, adding your own personal commentary on a manga or anime that you like.
Yes.
It's gonna keep you safe. You can keep doing
it. As long as here's an even better way to, if a person can go to what you're doing and not have to watch or play the other thing and lose 0 engagement from it, you've fucked up. Like if you could sit down and watch an entire episode or an entire movie of a thing without any interruptions, really, and so that you don't have to pay for it, you've broken the rules. All right, let's keep on trucking. Just a couple more left before we get to talk about the TV shows that we watch.
The big things.
This happened this week in Rogan news. I feel like Rogan, just me, it seems like Rogan makes the headlines every week at this point.
Yeah, he's when you're the new mainstream and the old mainstream is just trying to bite at your ankles. It is what it is.
Should I show them that? Should I show them that? That chart. That the. I'm gonna show you guys a chart that I saw the other day about what the numbers look like for Rogan's show, what his show gets versus what other shows get as far as audience numbers. Where is that chart? Oh man. What the hell, man? Somebody had a chart. It was a full breakdown of shit. Now I can't find it. I was literally just showing somebody the other day. I was showing somebody the same chart the other day.
Is it this one?
Yes, I literally just found it on Twitter. Here we go.
This is where we need a young Jamie.
Joe Rogan has completely disrupted the legacy media. And if you look at this, if you take a peek at this chart. These are quarter 3 Nielsen ratings.
Look at this chart, a graph.
Yeah, this is quarter 3, so like the back half of last year, which is just a month ago. So these aren't old numbers. These are very recent numbers, and this is what it looks like. The people that check out the Joe Rogan Experience, 11 million people check out Joe Rogan's show versus Tucker Carlson's show, Hannity, more Fox News stuff. But by the way, dude, look at I believe the 5 is also Fox News. It's Fox News, Fox News, Fox News, Fox News, Fox News, and then whatever the fuck Rachel Maddow is on. And MSNBC, maybe? CNN?
I don't know.
Oh no, I don't watch. By the way, I don't watch any of this shit. I don't go to corporate news for fucking my boomer breakdown. But yeah, I think that legacy media, corporate media, I think they have it out for old Rogan. I truly believe that.
I mean, yeah. When you see them, I get why they're doing it. They're trying to be crabs in a bucket.
Yeah, no, dude. I feel like they don't like that he's got autonomy. I don't think they like that he says stuff that goes against the narrative.
I mean, that's the big offender, isn't it? Like, he is as anti-establishment as you can be. He's like, hey, you don't need if you're like a young 20-something, you do sports, you don't need a fucking vaccine. Just eat more grapes, or whatever you say. Fucking get on the set.
So they started. So the normal lunatics, they started saying this week that, or actually no, they say this every week. Joe Rogan is, he's poisoning people. He's promoting misinformation, all this other crap. But by the way, dude. By the way, this is CNN
Speaking
Business.
Of misinformation.
Dude, I'm over here and I'm thinking,
wrong window.
Oh,
you're showing Discord.
Wait. Oh, Bale. Oops. Wait, Bale, you're not seeing
there.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh my god, I just realized.
Why is Bale still anime cross-dressing?
Larry!
What's up, Larry? Alright, sorry, Bale, I just realized that because I have 2 instances of OBS open.
I see. You switched scenes and it switched on both.
My scene grabber was tied to the other OBS that you were watching, not the OBS that the stream is watching. Apologies for the guff up, you guys. Anyway, back to the legacy and corpo news media shitting on Rogan for quote unquote misinformation. The dude is hey, look at me. Don't get your fucking news from Joe Rogan. Hey, look at me again. Don't get your fucking news from any YouTuber, podcast host, especially not a comedian / cage fighting commentator. Dude, if you're that concerned about it, do your fucking research. don't just believe shit that people tell you outright. The same goes for, again, same goes for corporate news. Same goes for lunatics on the internet and crazy podcast hosts. Again, I'm not a fan of Rogan's interviews. My favorite, I will listen to the Rogan show primarily for when he's talking to other comedians. When he's got Bill Burr on, Dave Chappelle, Tony Hinchcliffe, Ari Shaffir.
I miss Bill Burr on his
Not
show.
Bert Kreischer, that dude's an unfunny hack, but fucking Tom Segura. He had Shane Gillis on and Mark Norman, and they were crushed. I was like in stitches. I was rolling over.
It was hilarious.
Dude, so goddamn funny. But I don't, when he's got like on medical, I don't give two shits about any of that crap. Anyway, but
I'd listen to those while I drive. But whenever he has Dr. Patrick or someone about nutrition, I'm like, neurons activated. He just had a 4.5 fucking hour podcast with Dr. Peterson.
And again, pissing a ton of people off. And again, Peterson is another one. He's got some good points, and then he says some weird, wacky shit, dude. He says some shit that I absolutely disagree with. And then he's got some good... Again, these are just people. They're not deities. They have their own opinions. They have their own feelings about things. Not everything is... You're not going to... This isn't... This is the lunacy that you see on Twitter, where we mentioned this earlier. A friend of ours, Eric, was called a bunch of names because he retweeted somebody who falls on a different political spectrum than somebody else, and somebody, one of Kennedy's former followers, said like, "Oh, I see what you're doing. You know, you're laying in bed with this crowd that I don't like. I'll see you around." It's like, you fucking you stupid shithead. Just because you like or retweet somebody, if somebody has a good thought, and you like and retweet that thought, but maybe you didn't do your entire research about exactly how this person's ideologies are through and through. It doesn't mean that just because you like that idea, doesn't mean that you absolutely agree with every single goddamn thing that this person says. That's not how life works. That's not how anything works.
When people are sharing their ideas or advice or whatever on the internet, you're allowed to not take all of it.
Right. Yeah.
Do the Bruce Lee method, stupid.
Yeah, dude. Again, like I said,
take what improves,
Mm-hmm.
take what doesn't work, and then create your own.
Yeah, no, dude. Again, Rogan has some good points sometimes, and he's a funny dude, and he knows a lot about hunting and physical activity, comedy, and cage fighting. The rest of it, fucking find out for your fucking self. Same thing with Jordan Peterson.
Divaka Vampire over on the Reddit says like, I believe it's pronounced Bert Chrysler.
Is it just me? Is it just me? I don't find that dude funny. Am I the asshole? I like his story. I like some of his stories.
R/am I the asshole.
Right, dude. That guy's stories are funny sometimes, but I don't know, man.
I've listened to his stand-ups on Netflix, and he's on my bottom list of comedians. Like if there's literally nothing to listen to, I'd put him on. But then again, I can always listen to Dave Chappelle for like the umpteenth time.
Yeah, no, dude. I'll take Burr and Chappelle. Those guys are.
I mean, you're comparing him to the big boys.
But even
He's
Segura,
I think
Segura and Kreischer and Dro, they're like the same.
Segura and his fucking deadpan delivery is fucking awesome.
Dude, but even Segura, when it's just him and Christina, God, I don't know, do not know how to pronounce his wife's name. But on Your Mom's House podcast, dude, they crush it.
Your Mom's House is...
Dude, Your Mom's House is...
The type of shit they get into is wild.
So good. Anyway, we're way off base. We're way off tangent here. What ended up happening this week with Rogan, again, the lunatic fringe on social media went after Rogan. And this time it was for more quote-unquote misinformation. And for some reason, dude... that old man Neil Old, he's like Spotify. Listen, you could either have Neil Young or you could have Rogan, as a way to like, hey, it's him or me because he's spreading misinformation. And Spotify was like,
literally who?
Yeah, Spotify was like, get the fuck out. Spotify was like, don't let the door hit you on the fucking way out, Neil Young. We don't care. Yeah, dude, Joe Rogan, again, he earns.
Spotify were like, why
Yeah.
Felicia?
Dude, Spotify paid $100 million for Joe Rogan's podcast.
Real
And
money.
he's earned them. We just pulled up the feed for Joe Rogan's Spotify podcast. He has 11 million subscribers on Spotify. Those are paying customers. How many paying customers do you think Neil fucking Young has brought in? By the way, I love Neil Young's songs, which is
I don't even know who he is.
neither do most people. But for old heads like me, yeah, dude, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, just old school Neil Young stuff, Heart of Gold, Old Man. You're just like, fucking A, man. Listen, he's made some bangers in his time. But God, he's so fucking old and rich and out of touch. It sucks to suck, old man.
Diva has a point that he has his own like music format, so he's full of shit take mushroom hits. Oh,
Yeah.
shit talking, sorry.
Yeah, no, man. I think the old man smoked too much that funky ganja in the 70s. I think his brain is just mush.
Oh, yeah. And you're causing a bit of a disturbance in the force here with that Carhartt beanie.
Oh no, not my Carhartt beanie. Oh, dude, wait, what? All right, can somebody tell me? Carhartt said that their people must be vaccinated, right? Is that what I heard?
Yeah.
I mean, I disagree with that.
Legal.
I disagree with that. By the way, we just talked about how Evangeline Lilly got in trouble because she was marching in an anti-vax mandate march on DC. She's vaxxed, by the way. And I feel like if I keep saying the V word, I'm going to get banned off YouTube.
She's vaxxed, waxed, and ready to climax.
That's right. Wow, did you just make that up, dude? Vax, wax, and ready to climax? Did you?
Yes.
That's, ooh. Dude, somebody put that on a sticker, man. Put that on my backpack. Anyway, that hot, sexy MILF from Ant-Man and the Wasp and Lost, Evangeline Lilly, marched in DC because now she wasn't anti-vax. She was anti-vax mandate. And those are two different things. And everybody on every hacky BuzzFeed like news, quote unquote, news network was shitting on her for it.
That's redundant.
Yeah,
saying
right?
hacky and BuzzFeed is redundant.
And same thing with Rogan. Rogan has on people that the lunatic corporate media dislikes. He has them on, and they call him all kinds of names and sprout misinformation. Hey, whatever happened to personal choice and responsibility? Whatever happened to like?
I know, right?
Whatever happened to like? Hey, you might be listening to somebody who doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm not saying this is Rogan, but if Rogan has on somebody who is perhaps a complete lunatic, just to have them on,
Jones.
right? It's your duty as an adult to not buy that shit hook, line, and sinker. Yeah. Do your damn research. Look things up.
Yeah, Diva here gets their news from VTubers and the Illuminati.
Yeah. Now listen, every now and then Alex Jones uncovers some people making sacrificial ideological burnings of effigies to Moloch, the owl god, and it's real. Anyway, do your research. I'm gonna move on.
Yeah,
Screw
just
you,
like
Neil
the
Young.
Hodgkins. This is all advice. Do whatever the fuck you want to do with it.
Yeah, exactly. I love the Hodge twins. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. All right. In for this last part. We are now in the Boba Fett and Attack on Titan review. Not a full review. We're just going to talk about it casually. Our thoughts on the last two recent episodes of the series. By the way, Bale, you got to watch Peacemaker, man. That's a good series. Maybe you watch Peacemaker. I'll catch up on Demon Slayer, and we could talk about it in the coming weeks.
Oh, is that the deal?
Maybe that's what we'll do.
That's the trade.
Maybe that's what the trade-off.
I receive Peacemaker. You receive anime waifus.
Yeah. Listen, I love me some anime waifus, dude. I'm loving the waifus that I'm seeing in Goblin Slayer, even though those goblins are really just gang graping the hell out of them. Anyway, gang graping goblins aside.
But that goblin, dude.
Spoiler alert for the most recent episode of Boba Fett. I'm actually spoiling this for Bale. Apologies, Bale. You're going to have to take a hit, buddy. John is something of a goblin himself. John in the Twitch chat. Star Wars fans blow up the internet. 1% Boba Fett. This is the way. Now, what they mean by that is every episode of Boba Fett up until this point has been pretty. I don't want to say boring. I don't want to say bad, but when comparing it to the when comparing it to the Mandalorian, it's just lackluster. They turned the Mandalorian into what people imagine Boba Fett to be. And in episode 5 of Boba Fett, the entire episode is a Mandalorian episode. Boba Fett season 1 episode 5 is Mandalorian season 3 episode 0. It's insane. I have never seen something like this in my entire life. The analogy I made would be like if imagine you're watching an episode of a program, and in the middle of that season, you are then watching a completely different show. They mentioned Boba Fett once in the entire episode towards the very end, casually, so casually. It's like it's barely. They're like, hey, at the end of the, he's like, oh, Boba Fett needs your help. He's like, Boba Fett. It's like, all right, I got you. He's like, but I got some other stuff to do. And then the episode ends. And then the episode ends. It's
how bad is it for a series that the best episode and when it is not about the character in the fucking bed.
Dude, this again, the best scenes of Boba Fett were this scene. Bale, do you remember the first episode of The Mandalorian, season 1? He walks into a cantina in the middle of like some planet somewhere, looking for a bounty.
Yeah, he's like, I can take you in the easy way. Or
here's what he says. He says, I could take you in warm, or I could take you in cold.
Oh yeah,
right. He says that line again here, dude. I'm not gonna. I'm like,
yes,
dude.
It's good.
He's trying to negotiate. He's trying to negotiate with this guy. Hey, what's up, Seiko? He's trying to negotiate with this dude, and this guy's like, he's like, hey, I'm looking for a bounty. By the way, dude, Mandalorian walks in, dude, and everybody shuts the fuck up and gets quiet, man. It's so crazy.
It's awesome to have a character who's like so stoic and has such a commanding presence that this happens.
Dude, he
It's
walks in.
Clint Eastwood movie.
He walks in. You even shut up in your living room because you're worried he might hear you. So commanding, dude. Yeah, he saunters in, and then he's like looking for a bounty, and the guy's like, all right, I'll let you know when I see him. And then he tosses the puck down, and the puck has got the holograph face. And the guy's trying to talk it away. He's like, I could pay you more, I could do this. He's trying to talk his way out of it. And that's when he puts his hand on his blaster, and it's like, I could take you in warm, I could take you in cold. And then, of course, hell breaks
So
loose.
awesome.
So I'm not going to spoil the rest of it. But again, that one scene was crazier, more interesting, more pivotal, more awesome than anything we've seen yet in Boba Fett. And it's so disappointing to say that out loud, man, because Boba Fett is the OG. Boba Fett's the dude that, like, he's the like only one of the dudes in the entire original series that talk shit to Vader. When Vader takes Han Solo and lives. When Vader takes Solo and decides to toss him in carbonite, Boba Fett is, I'm paraphrasing here, it's like, I need him alive. And it's like, whoa, you're gonna talk to Vader you're gonna yell at Vader like that? And he did. And Vader let it slide. Fucking Vader. So it's like, again, people are like, wow, this guy doesn't take shit. He doesn't talk shit. He's a man of few words. It's essentially, they turned Mandalorian into what Boba Fett used to be. And the Boba Fett that we have now, he's kind of whack. he's kind of. So
I feel like they want to, from what I've heard so far, because I'm not gonna watch the whole fucking thing. I'm gonna watch that one episode that you recommended.
Yeah,
But
watch the
from what
Mandalorian
I've
episode.
seen and heard, they're trying to reestablish him as a new type of you. He's like a quote unquote old man Mandalorian now.
Bang, you're the best.
But it looks like they're taking way too damn long to reestablish him as such.
Yeah, no, it's just somebody. I was listening to a YouTuber by the name of Doomcock who makes great content. Awesome dude.
He's good.
His speculation is that because how could John Favreau is also writing The Mandalorian? It's not like an entire different team worked on this episode. It was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard instead of being directed by Robert Rodriguez, but I completely see why. By the way, Bryce Dallas Howard was crushing it in seasons 1 and 2 of Mandalorian as the director. It's crazy to see that The Mandalorian being written by the same man who's written Boba Fett. You'd assume there were two different people writing this, but it's not. So Doomcock speculates that he thinks it's because Jon Favreau loves the Mandalorian and doesn't have love for Boba Fett. So he's just kind of like going through the motions, and then this
especially
yeah.
to build on top of that, especially if it's like mandated from up top. Like
Exactly.
They're like, hey,
That's what
Boba Fett. People are collecting toys. We need new Boba Fett content to also sell new Boba Fett merch. Get on it.
That's
And
exactly what people are saying.
Yeah, and if you couple that with him not liking Boba Fett to begin with, he's gonna be like, oh, so we gotta have this, and then he's gonna slide in the Mandalorian episode mid-season to get the ratings up.
Dude, and then they find a bunch of tweets of people just going crazy. Book of Boba Fett, more like Book of Mando episode with straight gas. I can't get over how much I love Din Djarin. He's everything the Mandalorian should be. I was tired of watching evil Mandos. Anyway, dude, it's dope. Highly recommend you watch it. Again, I would tell you skip. This pains me to tell you, Bill, but I would say
Star Wars nerd, aren't you?
skip the first 4 episodes of Boba Fett and watch this Mandalorian episode, because here's something that I love that I saw Mandalorian, but this is kind of bullshit. It's kind of bullshit for people who watch The Mandalorian and have no interest in Boba Fett, because without giving many spoilers away, I'm not going to give any spoilers away. I'll say this: this is a pivotal moment for The Mandalorian. And if you watch the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian and care about this character, you deserve to watch this episode. This episode should, and also, by the way, if you're a fan of the prequels, you don't see there's no characters or anything in the prequels, but if you are a fan of the prequel movies, they make some nods to stuff that happened in the movies. Then I'll let that be that. But imagine you're watching Demon Slayer, and in the middle of Demon Slayer, an episode is lost because it was an episode for an anime. It was a Demon Slayer episode that played in an anime that you've never seen before and don't care about, but it was a pivotal moment. You come back in Tanjiro's. Imagine you in the middle of the season, you turn on Demon Slayer, and in this episode, Tanjiro is missing an arm, and you're like, "What happened?" And you're like, "Oh, well, you should have been watching anime, blah blah blah." And you're like, "I don't even know that. What?" Why would you put such a pivotal episode in a series that isn't Demon Slayer? It's the same thing.
Here's what I think what Disney are doing, since this is so like the Disney Plus Star Wars verse.
Yeah.
The executives are probably think they're gonna watch everything anyway because we're drip feeding them the content because this is when it comes out.
They're doing the MCU.
Even if we do have this pivotal moment, people are still gonna watch it because there's nothing else to watch. So I'm guessing they're banking on that. But if it's such a pivotal moment, I think I'd still put it in the Mandalorian season as like an episode 0, like you're promoting it here to be. Like maybe a week before the new Mandalorian season drops or starts, you just play this again as episode 0.
Yeah, dude, all this episode did was make people miss the Mandalorian. And what kind of sucks about that is we're watching a better version of the character in which the show is about. Imagine, I don't know, man. It's so hard to even come up with a proper analogy, man. Imagine you're watching.
You're watching I'm the Batman, like the millionth Batman knockup, and you get this one-shot issue where the real Batman shows up.
Yeah, no,
and you miss the real Batman, and there's no new Batman for another few months. Do you have an ETA on season 3 of Mando?
No idea.
Said anything?
No idea.
Oh,
so this is the closest we're gonna get.
Here's the other thing I remember seeing from Star Wars fans whenever these new shows got announced. People were like, "This is okay, but I just wanted more Mando. I don't care about this this new shit." People just wanted more Mando because it was so on. Even me, isn't a Star Wars fan, enjoyed Mandalorian. We did both seasons. We reviewed both seasons, and I enjoyed that shit.
Hell yeah.
Was it goofy at times? Was it not polished? Sure. Was it entertaining though? Of course it was.
There you go.
Gina Carano's thick.
Star Wars at this point can't afford bad publicity. It's already mostly bad. Yeah, Disney Star Wars, absolutely. Thank you for the follow, Floof. Now let's move on to Attack on Titan season 4. If you haven't seen it,
Part 2.
season 4 part 2. This is the most recent episode. If you haven't seen it, you better skedaddle or get ready for some spoilers because
You better run off. I will not hold it against you if you just... You know what you can do is just mute the tab and
Yeah.
go catch up on Attack on Titan.
can you explain this face to me, Bill?
It's the same in the manga.
Damn, I should have put this fucking face in the damn thumbnail.
You can put it in later. That's what
I
she
was-
said.
I was going for cool in our YouTube thumbnail, but I think maybe I should have gone for stupid.
It's memeable. Like, ever since it came out, if you scroll like Twitter or especially like your Instagram discovery feed, which if you haven't read the manga, you should not fucking do it because motherfuckers are putting, you know, the swipeable posts? Where
Yes.
it's like 3 or 4 posts and you swipe. Motherfuckers are putting spoilers in those. Like you see 1 or 2 are like memes and shit, and like the third one is gonna be like a massive spoiler, not just for the episode, but for the end of the fucking series. So don't fuck around on social media and then come crying back to me. But yeah, this is the same post. This is the same face as in the manga. Elena is fucking weird, which we know her to be. But this
she's-
face got me.
Well, here, man. Well, this character, Yelena, is it?
Yeah, she is a proper zealot. She is.
Yeah.
She is a religious fanatic of
Yeah.
Eren Yeager.
She's a true blue Jaegerist, and the thing is, while the city is completely under siege by both Marlians, Titans, and everyone in between, right? The army is fighting with their army. It's chaos, dude. You know, things are exploding. Things are on fire. The Beast Titan is hurling rocks. Like it is a cacophony of violence, blood, madness, and death. And you know what she's doing?
It is hell on earth.
She's in the she's on top of a building in the city center, like listening to it like it's music, meditating with it, like almost like the maestro of an orchestra. She's like she's bathing and soaking in the cacophony of violence. It's
Yeah,
fucking twisted, dude. It's crazy.
How people who have a religious experience react and they like welcome, the manna from the skies. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's how she is.
Dude, her panties are drenched. Dude, you know she's
Oh,
got
yeah,
a
like
big, she's got a big clitoris, dude. The size of her, dude, she's like 6'2". Her clitoris probably looks like a baby's fist, and it's sopping wet,
probably
dude.
Probably
Dude.
like a couple of inches.
Her clitoris is probably so large and hard, she probably has to put padding on her underwear for it because otherwise it'll wear out. Like the crotch on the panties is just like it'll burn away, dude.
Or
That's
because of the constant friction, she would just get desensitized.
she's probably not even wearing panties, dude.
I mean, yeah, best way to fix this problem is to just not have that problem to begin with.
You know what it is, dude? No, you know what it is? She was probably wearing them, and the second that Jaeger, when the second he like tightened up, she probably took her panties off like discreetly. Anyway,
She just threw him to the waist, and you just heard like a massive on the ground.
yeah. Right now there's a puddle underneath her. Dude, can we talk about how fucking fire the season 2 opening is? The music. I don't want to play it because
I
I'll get...
know, it was so unexpected because everything past the first opening was kind of meh, and now they came back with a fucking
Dude, this might be
banger of a song.
dude. That opening might be like the hardest, like badass guitar solo opening that I've heard in anime in a long time. Maybe the hardest. I wonder if I could play a little bit of it without.
I think you can play the beginning.
Dude.
Yeah, and
Dude.
it starts off with the screamo vocals. And
Fucking
shit.
scream.
It's
And then there's got to be double bass in that, right?
oh yeah, there's a lot of double bass drums.
Somebody's feetsies are going hard on the double bass pedal, dude.
Someone's breaking their ankles for this anime.
Yeah.
My hats off to you, good.
It's awesome.
It is also it is among my best openings, like repeated, not just in regards to like guitar or it being like heavy metal or whatever the
What's
genre is.
what's the name of the song? Floof, were you guys able to hear the song when I played it? I don't know if you guys were able to hear it, but
Yeah, it's just.
I know Bale heard it,
I think.
but I don't know if
Yeah,
y'all heard
I
it.
heard it.
What's the name of the song? I don't know, Bale. You know the name of the song?
I'm going to look it up right now.
Well, look it up. Yes. All right. Psycho. Man, I can't believe it came all the way over from Reddit, dude. What a voyage. What a voyage for the Floof. Also, Floof, join the Discord if you want to party.
It's The Rumbling by SIM, with the I being a. What's the opposite of capital? Lowercase.
The Rumble by SIM. Spelled a weird way. Satisfied with... Yeah, no. Bale, you've read the manga. You've watched the anime. How does it hold up? Is it true? Is it true to the series?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's only been like 3 episodes.
How many episodes will we get in this season?
From what I'm seeing here, I think they can cap it off at like around 100.
So we're getting like... Dude, that's like 22 episodes.
Wait, no. There should be more part. This is part 2 of the season. There's like 12 episodes left, which means it's going to
Okay.
be
I was going to say
90.
90.
They can round it out. They can stretch out the final bits, and but they also shorten. There's like one slower bit, which is going to be probably like in 2 or 3 episodes. They can probably shorten that because it's animation. It takes a lot less time to go through big talking scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think 90 episodes should be a good cap off. Nice round number. This is Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho should end at like 100 episodes.
Poor Mob Psycho, dude. Somebody was talking about us because Mob Psycho is one of my favorite animes of all time. Somebody was talking about how probably we're never getting a season 3 of Mob Psycho. Which
What do you mean? There's a whole trailer for season 3. Official
Really?
trailer.
Are you serious? Then somebody was talking shit in the Discord. Somebody was like, "We're not getting a season 3 of that."
Someone was spreading misinformation.
How dare they? What are they, Joe Rogan? Okay, all right. Anything you want to listen? Attack on Titan is your baby. Is there anything you want to see? If you want to speak on anything you want to?
Honestly, if it's maybe, but so far, the the first big moment has happened. I don't think we should mention because this is a massive spoiler. It is like the last 20 seconds of the episode. Not the last 20 seconds. It's like 20 seconds of the episode. But I'm looking around to see people's reactions, and still they haven't come. I still don't see them out to that thing. But I am more interested in seeing like the final, how people react to the next few episodes and the ending. Because I have a friend who did not enjoy the ending, but he's the type of guy who enjoys everything, like absolutely everything being explained to like the tiniest of details. And I don't necessarily need that. There's a couple of bits that they could use explaining, but overall, the ending is solid. Like I enjoyed the ending, and I want to see how people react to that.
All
and
right.
to what's coming up next.
Well, we got 12 issues, man. We got 12 episodes left, about, give or take. So, or maybe 10 episodes. I mean, how many episodes? There are 3 episodes left, so maybe we have 9 episodes left.
Yeah, if it's going to be 12 or 15, we have 9 to 12 episodes left.
Oh boy. All right. On that note, I think I'm going to catch up. I think I'm going to reluctantly catch up on Demon Slayer and watch the damn Japanese version, even though I don't want to, because I prefer the English voices. But what are you going to do?
You're gonna listen to fucking Zenitsu in the OG Japanese voice, baby.
I don't never listen to him in the old school Japanese. I don't think. I don't want to. Oh man, that stupid French fry head. All right, you guys are amazing. Bale, thank you for doing this. We were able to wrap this up in under an hour and a half. Well done, buddy.
Really good.
Well done, kiddo. You've done it again, guys. We're gonna be back on Monday. We're gonna be drawing. Or I'll be drawing, and then Thursday and Bale will be drawing if he wants. And then we got another nerd news. Guys, if you have anything that you want us to talk about, anything you want us to discuss, anything you have in mind, please don't hesitate to hit us up in the Discord, tag us, post some articles in the Comic Podcast channel, and we're going to check them out. And until then, John Moore is a
This has been
goblin.
Nerd News.
This has been Nerd News.
This has been Nerd News. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and thank you to the people who keep this show running.
Yes, thank you.
The
Here.
motherfucking patrons.
Thank you, patrons. Here we go. There's the patrons. There are your names. Thank you for reminding me. You know, I think I'm going to thank my patrons at the end of the show now instead of the beginning of the show. I think I think that's mo better. All right, bye everybody.
Thank you to everyone on Reddit who showed up, and I'll see you guys again